Welcome to The Explainer, where we dig into the fascinating stories hiding inside everyday things. Today, let's talk about something we all use, and, let's be honest, pretty much all of us love to hate, the parking meter.
You know this feeling, right? You're just trying to do something simple online and boom, you hit a digital wall. Some tiny, frustrating roadblock that was supposed to make things easier but just doesn't. Well, believe it or not, that exact same story has been playing out for years on our streets in the surprisingly complicated world of paying for parking.
For ages, we all did the same parking dance. You know the one, fumbling around for quarters, hoping you have enough, jamming them into that big, clunky mechanical meter. And then, of course, the mat dashed back to your car before that little red expired flag popped up. It was a simple problem, and tech promised us a simple solution.
And so, along came the first big fix, the Pay by Phone app. On paper, this seemed like a total game changer. Finally, a little bit of modern convenience right there in your pocket.
And at first, it was pretty great. For the first time ever, you didn't need a handful of change. You could be in a meeting clear across town and just add more time from your phone. You could even get a text reminder so you wouldn't forget. And the folks who run the meters, they loved it. No more collecting bags of coins and way lower maintenance costs.
But yeah, what felt like a superhighway to convenience quickly turned into a traffic jam of frustration. Suddenly, the simple act of paying for parking got really messy.
Just how messy are we talking? Well, get this. A 2017 survey in the UK found that a staggering 70% of drivers would rather just give up and find another parking spot or even just go home than have to deal with a parking app. 70%. That is a massive failure. So, what went so wrong? Well, the list of gripes is pretty long. You've got these weird little surcharges tacked onto the parking fee. You have to have a good cell signal, which we all know isn't a guarantee. You're handing over your personal data, which raises all kinds of privacy flags. And in some places, like the UK, you might need a whole folder on your phone with 30 different incompatible apps just to park in different areas. It's a total nightmare.
Okay, so here's where the story takes a really interesting turn. What most people have no idea about is that behind all this modern technology, every single parking meter, whether it's digital or mechanical, has to follow an incredibly strict, very detailed set of government rules. And these aren't just suggestions, we're talking about the law.
Now, the most important part is right here in this table. It's from the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST. Look at that column that says on over-registration. That basically means the meter running too fast and cheating you out of time. And what's the tolerance for that? Zero. Absolutely none. A meter is allowed to run a little bit slow, giving you a bonus minute or two, but it can never, ever run fast. It's this powerful little piece of consumer protection that's baked right into the system.
And when I say these rules are detailed, I mean they are unbelievably specific. This is a direct quote from the official handbook, and it's dictating the exact width of the little lines on a meter's dial down to the millimeter. It's a level of detail you would just never, ever expect.
And this is where modern tech companies like IPS Group come into the picture. Their challenge is to build the high-tech future of parking, but they have to do it while following every single one of these microscopic, century-old rules.
So, all of this leads us to the next big evolution, the smart meter. These gadgets were engineered from the ground up to solve all the new problems that the apps created, all while staying perfectly inside those strict government lines.
And the core idea behind them is just brilliant. And it's so simple. One of the biggest problems with paying by app was that the meter on the street had no idea you added more time. That led to tons of confusion and, you guessed it, unfair parking tickets. So the solution was, what if the meter could just take a little nap and only wake up when it absolutely had to check for an update? This wake-up cycle is the real genius here. You pay, your time shows up on the screen, and the meter's communication system just goes to sleep to save battery. Then, just moments before your time is up, it wakes up, pings the central server, and asks one simple question: did they add more time? If you did, the display updates. If you didn't, time's up. It's a simple check-in that makes sure the meter's always accurate, and it solves a massive headache for both drivers and parking enforcement.
And here's a peek under the hood, right from the actual patent. That control module there, that's the brain of the operation. And the transceiver is what handles those all-important wake-up calls to the server. It's just a really elegant solution to a really tricky problem.
So the next time you pull up to a parking spot and feed the meter, just remember what's really going on behind that screen. You're not just using a simple timer, you're interacting with this surprisingly intelligent system, one that's in a constant dance between cutting-edge technology and decades of really meticulous, consumer-friendly rules.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big question. As this technology gets smarter and smarter and the curb becomes some of the most valuable real estate in any city, who really benefits the most from it all? Is it you, the driver? Is it the city collecting the revenue? Or is it the tech company that built the whole system? It's definitely something to think about.